Welcome back to the Making the Madness YouTube channel. Sean back again today for another video. This time it's Jaheam Cornwall, the Gardner-Webb transfer, committing to Penn State to play for new head coach Micah Shrewsbury next season. I like this move quite a bit because Jaheam Cornwall is a 42% career shooter from deep, 44% career high in 2019-20, shot over 6 a game. And now he steps in the day after Isaiah Brockington announces his intentions to transfer. He steps in and commits to Penn State. So I think that's a pretty big move because, Cornwall's a much better shooter than Brockington. I think pure talent-wise, Brockington is better. But I love the fit here because you get a guard that can shoot. I mean, you lose Myron Jones, one of the best shooters in the Big Ten. He's headed to Florida. You add one of the best shooters in college basketball in Jaheam Cornwall. I mean, that's a solid. You don't want that trade if it's offered 1-for-1, but you'll take it. I mean, that's a good consolation prize because Jaheam Cornwall can really score the ball. He averaged 14 a game last season for the Bulldogs in the Big South, and he's played with some really good players in his career. David Effiani, the top player in program history, the all-time leading scorer in Gardner-Webb history. He got to play with him and learn from him his first season at Gardner-Webb. That's something, you can't really there's no stat that could tell you what David Effiani was able to teach a guy like Jaheam Cornwall because Effiani was such a good scorer in his career. They got to the NCAA tournament in 2018-2019. So they would have played together for 2 seasons. But 2018-2019 and played Virginia and lost, but that was a team with a lot of talent. David Effiani, Jaheam Cornwall. Off the bench, Jose Perez, who's now at Marquette, and Nate Johnson, who's now at Xavier. So that's a lot of talent on that team that led Virginia at the half, the eventual national champions. But Cornwall's going to play a big role for the Nittany Lions next season. You lose a lot. You lose Myron Jones. You lose Isaiah Brockington. Those are both losses that matter. You lose Trent Buttrick to UMass. We played a solid bench role last season. But you are able to return some big names that entered the portal. John Harrar entered the portal. He returned this week. Seth Lundy entered the portal. He returned last week. So those are 2 starters from last season. I think Seth Lundy could really be their leading scorer next season. He really struggled down the stretch this season, but I think he has a super high ceiling. I think he'll be really good next season. You return Sam Sessoms. You return Miles Dredd. Those are 2 pretty big ones there. And then, there's not a ton of depth on the team right now. DJ Gordon returns. Dalian Johnson returns. Caleb Dorsey returns. Abdu Simbila returns. But those are all guys that are question marks because they didn't play a ton as freshmen. Now they're entering their sophomore seasons. How will they develop? That's a question that we're going to need to have answered. I think Abdu Simbila has a pretty high ceiling. He's pretty talented. He just didn't get on the floor much last season. 3-star guy, 6'8". He's very strong. I'd like to see what he can do in a bigger role next season without Trent Buttrick. He'll likely get that. But this team certainly needs some more depth. That's kind of what it comes down to. You're looking at a starting 5 right now of Jaheam Cornwall. You can go Sam Sessoms at the 2. You can go Miles Dredd at the 3. You can go Seth Lundy at the 4 and John Harrar at the 5. That's a solid starting 5, but you need more bench pieces. I think that Penn State will certainly be in the mix via the transfer portal to add some more guys. But for now, Jaheam Cornwall's headed to Happy Valley. So definitely thanks for checking this video out. Like and subscribe, and until next time, have a good one.